How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Having a good time? All right. Let's keep this going. I like how you said, by the way, we had sex on Valentine's Day, because no other day are they having sex, just on fucking Valentine's Day. That's the day you guys are getting down. Fantastic. I like that. I like that. He was talking about drivers, and I don't know if you know this, but in the U.S. there's a fucking stereotype that Asian drivers are horrible, right? Specifically Chinese drivers. Oh my God, they're the worst drivers. But I'm here to tell you, I've been in Shanghai for the last 4 months. It can't be the furthest from the truth. I got in a taxi cab, right? I get in and I tell the guy, he knows, right? So I tell him the streets. I get in, I sit down, and he just fucking goes fast, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is scary. There's bike lanes all the time, so he swerves in, comes back out, goes against traffic. I'm holding on to my God, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Right before we get hit, he swerves back in. It's like a Formula One driver, right? I'm just like, oh my God, and he just looks over at me, and he's like, Lao Wai. Foreigner. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. He's just making fun of me, right? But this happens to me all the time. Like, I climbed this mountain up in Taiyan in China. It's like the mountain that every emperor had to climb before he became emperor. Most of them just got picked up and taken up there. But I climbed the mountain, right? It's like 6,700 steps. And I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And I was at step 1,000, 2,000 stair, and I'm going, I feel so good, right? And I'm going up there about 2,500 steps up, starting to get winded. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on? And I'm still going, and all the steps are different sizes, and this guy has this thing on his back. He's got to be about 158 years old, and he's got like 100 kilos on his back, just walking by, and he's just like so happy. And he passes me, he's just like, foreigner. And I'm like, what are we doing here? These guys are fantastic. I don't know what's in the air, but it's there to kill Westerners and make Chinese people stronger. I don't know what it is. It's fun though. I've been in Singapore for a couple of days, and one of the things is you don't see this a lot in China, especially in the smaller areas. You don't see color. So I am like the blackest person they've ever seen there, right? So I'm walking around, they're like, coffee or a brown person? Look at that. And they're just staring. I'm like, yes, I am brown. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's how, right? But I came here and I had the same kind of situation. I was walking around and people started staring at me. I was walking by a construction site and they're just staring at me. What are you doing? And they're like, hey, get back to work. I'm Mexican. What the fuck? Like, oh, you are Mexican. Ah, get back to work. See you guys later. I like it though. It's just. I like stereotypes, right? I was out in a club not too long ago, and I love hearing like different stereotypes. I'm out and I'm talking to people and stuff. This guy comes up at this club in Shanghai and he's just like, hey, do you want to buy some Coke? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? I got it, whatever you need. And I was like, no, I don't do any of that stuff, right? And I just started a conversation. We're by the bathroom and not in the bathroom. We're outside the bathroom, but I started a conversation. Let's to the story here. But he's just like, I asked him, where are you from? He goes, I'm from Nigeria. I was like, oh, you fill that stereotype. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Mexico. He's like, oh, Mexico. Maybe you can give me a better deal in Coke. And I was like, oh. If you weren't right, I would be pissed off at you right now. No, but there's a lot of things. I lived in LA for the last 7 years before I moved out to Shanghai, and there's a lot of little differences that I see. And I still have that Los Angeles mentality, right? It's just like it's almost illegal to be brown in LA. Like it's a weird situation. It's bad. Thank you for laughing at that. That wasn't a joke, but no. I went out to Shanghai and I remember I bought a motorcycle, right? And because I wanted to get around, I didn't want to take taxis and stuff, so I got a bike. And in China, what you got to do is you got to get a license. If you don't get a license, you can get stopped and your bike will get taken away, or you get a big fine, or you can get jail time. So I asked the guy, I was like, listen, what do I do about a license? What do I get a license? He's like, look, listen, if the cops try to stop you, just go. What? I was, yeah, if they try to stop you, just go left and just go, right? And I was like, I can't do this. I got that Los Angeles mentality, right? I mean, Ron, like, if I try to just go, the cops are just gonna laugh and just say, I'm down. Like, people are gun happy in the U.S. It's scary. It's scary. But I do get into like weird situations in Shanghai, and it's kind of fun. I mean, lately I've been trying to learn Chinese, and it's very difficult because I hang out with a lot of expats, so I'm just learning a bunch of bad words from all over the world. But one of my favorite things is I remember I was out not too long ago with a friend from Estonia, and we were drinking, right? And so we're all hanging out, we're drinking, and I said, I kept saying salud, cheers, ganbei, kanpai, whatever. And I kept getting the same answer. I was like, cheers. She goes, 36. I said, wow, what? Maybe I heard wrong. I don't know what happened. So I was like, I gotta get another drink and see what's going on here, right? So I said, I gave her another drink, and I was like, salud. She said, 36. I said, I know I heard it last time. Are you fucking proposing something here? I don't understand what's going on. And she goes, no. That's just how we say it in Estonian. We say 36. I said, oh, great. Fantastic, right? So how long are you going to be here, right? I'll be here for 12 months. I've already been here for 11, though. I'm leaving in a month. I was like, oh, man, well, just out of curiosity, how do you say 12 months in Estonian? She goes, oh, that's funny. It's, cocks taste good. What a beautiful language this is. I'm booking a flight next week for that place. It's fucking fantastic. No, but one of the things, too, is I noticed, I don't know if it's so much here, I haven't noticed, I haven't been out, but one of the things is that in China and Japan and Korea, it's huge right now, a lot of Latin music, right? Salsa, merengue, cumbia, all this stuff. And I'm just looking at them and I'm just like, do you not know that this is our mating dance? Like, you gotta be careful when you learn these dances. Like, we can get you pregnant on the dance floor when you dance with these dances. You gotta be careful, right? I'm like, you guys have a one-child policy here. Don't be fucking around with this stuff. Be real careful. No, but it's weird. I love Singapore. It's really clean and stuff like that. But one thing, it was just, I was walking around. I was like, you know what? There's no gum here. I can't buy any gum. And I was just like, you know what? It was like a Coke deal. It's like, you want gum? Come here. Let's go. I can get you some gum. Don't worry about it. Look, you can't buy it here, but there's a black market. Don't worry, we'll get you. And I'm like, this is a crazy fucking rule. Like, really? You can't buy gum? And I was just like, and I'm thinking with this Western thought, like, why are they forbidding gum? This is stupid, right? But then I was walking up this escalator and I held onto the handrail and I was like, oh my God, there was gum on the thing. And I was like, these people should be murdered for bringing gum into this place. So like, now I know why the law's here. This is fucking fabulous. But I'll finish up in a little bit. I have a lot of friends back home that aren't the brightest people. I'm trying to put it nicely here, man. Not the brightest people, but not too long ago there was a Manny Pacquiao fight. He was fighting in Macau. And I called a friend back home. He's like, are you watching the fight? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know you're watching it. He's like, yeah, I am. And he says, don't tell me who wins. And I said, it's a live fight. He goes, yeah, but he's fighting in Macau. You guys are 16 hours ahead. I said, I'm not in the future. What the fuck is going on? I'm like, you know what? I'll call you tomorrow with the lottery number so you can fucking win for us. Idiot, man. And this is the same friend. I have this friend. His name's Andres. This is the same friend. Before I left California, we were in this little place called Calexico. It's right on the border, right? You can see the fence right there on the border. And he's like, hey, man, we used to run track and cross country in high school. And he's like, hey, let's go for one last run before you go to Shanghai. I don't know when I'm going to see you again. Let's just go for one last run. I said, we're in our 30s. What are we running for? Like, I don't want to run. And he goes, just one last thing. It's like, all right. So I don't know why I said yes, but we started running, and we get up to the border, and we take a right, and we're running along the fence, and I was like, holy shit. This is not a good look. 2 Mexicans running by the border? This is not going to end well. Why let this idiot get me into this situation? No, but I like stereotypes, and I think I learned it from my mom. And the thing is, I moved to the U.S., right, when I was young, and when I started dating, about 14, 15 years old, I remember my mom, like, I brought different girls home, and I could tell what the stereotype was by how she was reacting, right? So I remember I brought this girl home. She's an American girl, and I brought her home, and my mom's like, "Mijo, fantastic. This is why we came to this country. This is beautiful, perfect, right?" I was like, okay, Mom, that's kind of fucked up. All right, so some time went by, and I brought this Chinese girl home. She goes, this is great. Your kids are going to be so intelligent. This is great, right? And I was like, Mom, I'm smart. She goes, yeah, but not like them. They're actually smart. God. Some time went by, right? And I brought this girl home, and she was speaking Spanish to my mom, right? And this is, and I don't know if you know this, but in Latin culture, there's a hierarchy of people, right? And it goes down by the further south you go. So I brought this girl home, and when she started talking to my mom about 5 minutes into it, my mom's like, your Spanish is just a tad bit different. And it's like, she goes, mija, where are you from? She goes, oh, I'm from Guatemala. So my mom grabs my arm, she goes, come here. We didn't come to this country to go backwards. You see? What are you doing? I was like, Mom, you're racist. Like, what's wrong with you? But I mean, I love my mom, but she messed with me a lot, and I think this is why I guess I had to come up here and talk about my issues, right? I let it out to you guys. But you know, when I was growing up, my mom changed religions depending on how we were doing financially. Really messing with us, right? I remember coming home, and I came home and I was like, Mom, well, like, it's Christmas time. What is Santa Claus gonna bring me for Christmas? She goes, we're Jews now, and we don't have a Christmas. Why did you skip Hanukkah? Like, I could have gotten 8 gifts. But some time went by, right? I used to love watching Saturday morning cartoons, and the TV was busted. I said, Mom, when are we gonna fix the TV? I wanna watch cartoons. She goes, Mijo, we're Catholic now. We gave it up for Lent. We're not gonna have TV. I was like, this is stupid. All right, I guess we're Catholic now, right? But I knew she was messing with me because I came home one day, a few months later, and I was starving. And I came home and I said, Mom, what are we gonna have for dinner? I'm fucking hungry. What are we gonna have for dinner? I wasn't cursing. She would have whooped my ass if I cursed. But what are we gonna have for dinner? She goes, we're Muslim now. It's Ramadan. We're not eating. Now get your ass to sleep before the sun goes down. Anyway, that's my time, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.